So guys, I'm pretty sure if you were to ask a lot of NBA scouts out there what they think about this 2024 NBA draft, you're going to get the consensus that this 2024 NBA draft is easily one of the worst draft classes in the last 10 years. Now, I definitely feel like the main reason why people think this 2024 NBA draft is very weak from 0 to 60 is mainly due to the fact that there's really no clear #1 player that people think can essentially be that next great NBA player. There's really no player that people look to in this class that scouts think could be a franchise level player, a Hall of Fame type player, future crazy great all-stars. There's really no clear-cut #1 player that, like I said, that scouts are just very high on. I mean, if you take a look at the last couple years, I feel like there's always been that player that fans and scouts and NBA teams are very high on. I mean, just take a look. You have guys like Victor Wembanyama, the LaMelo Balls, the Anthony Edwards, the Ben Simmons, the Cade Cunninghams, the Jalen Greens. There's always been that player that you just know is going to be that #1 player. But guys, your boy JuiceMadeHoops is here, and I'm here to tell you that I definitely feel like a lot of people kind of have this class misconstrued. And the main reason why I personally feel like not a lot of people are high on this draft is solely due to the fact that they're just really not familiar with the players in this draft. I'm telling you right now, this class definitely has a lot of great longevity type of players, and I definitely do think this class is going to surprise a lot of people out there. But guys, I need you guys to understand one thing. This 2024 NBA draft is not just a regular class. If you want me to keep it a buck, keep it a bean, I actually don't even refer to this class as the 2024 NBA draft. I refer to this draft as the Bronny James NBA draft. I mean, guys, let's be honest. A lot of NBA fans, scouts, everybody and their mama, we all want to know where this man Bronny James is essentially going to be going to, and we all know the news, we all know the incentive, we all know the package that you're going to be getting whenever you draft this man Bronny James. I mean, I don't want to go too in depth, but we all know this man LeBron James said that whatever team this man Bronny James ends up getting drafted to, LeBron James is going to try to sign to whatever team that is. And like I said, that's essentially probably going to be LeBron James's last year in the NBA. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody and their mama has seen all the mocks about where they think Bronny James is going to be going to. We've all seen the predictions, we all seen the mock drafts, but guys, let's be honest, nobody and their mama, none of us essentially knows where this man Bronny James is going to be going to. Like I said, the incentive that you have whenever you draft Bronny, there's just a lot of things that's going to be coming to your team. So I definitely feel like this draft class specifically is definitely going to be very tricky. I definitely think it's going to be weird. And I think there's going to be an NBA team that's probably going to surprise a lot of people, and they potentially could snatch Bronny James somewhere in that lottery. I know right now Bleacher Report has him somewhere in the second round, but like I said, do not be surprised if one of these NBA teams just take a chance on him just because what it's going to do for your overall team. But guys, please understand one thing. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this draft class is not just Bronny James. People just don't know the names and the talent level that this class has, and that is the main reason why I wanted to make this video, for you guys to get a better understanding of the players that are actually in this draft, understand the talent level that this class has, and to actually get familiar with some of the faces that you need to know heading into next season. So guys, please pull out your pen and paper. You have homework due next week. Make a note of all these players and make sure you turn your homework in next week, because I need you guys to understand the talent level that this class has. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 30,000 subscribers. It's literally free, bro. Hit the red button if you enjoy just talking hoops, talking basketball. Join the JuiceMade family, and let's get on to this video. So guys, boom, like I said at the beginning of the video, Bleacher Report, they had a chance to actually drop their 2024 NBA mock draft, and as you will see here, I do want to focus on the top 5 players that they have going in the top 5. Now, Ron Holland is the first player that we're actually going to be talking about in this video, and he's a player that Bleacher Report has going #1 in this coming draft. Now, he's a player that's actually from my personal area. He reigns from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, super highly touted, decorated high school athlete, multiple state champion, went to a prestigious high school in Duncanville High School, and I know at first he was committed to play at the University of Texas next season, but surprisingly, he actually decommitted, and now he's actually going to be playing for the G League Ignite basketball team. Just like Bleacher Report said in their article, the size, the athleticism, the motor, the defense, the passing, the production, he can essentially do everything well on the floor. And the biggest thing that I definitely feel like you guys need to understand is the energy and the motor that this kid plays with. He will already be coming into the NBA with a great NBA sized body frame, and I definitely feel like the defensive potential that this kid has is literally unmatched. I mean, you combine the speed and the quickness that this man has to be able to guard even point guards out there in the perimeter, just offensively and defensively. There's just a lot of things to really love about this kid. If he can just improve a little bit on his ball handling, his shot creation, I definitely feel like he could be one of the few players that we look as the best player easily in this class. Matas Buzelis is the second rated player in this class. Now, from what I've actually been hearing, I know that teams are going to be looking at this kid Matas as a longer term prospect just because of the skinnier body frame that he does possess. And I just feel like it's super hard to pass on a guy that possesses the skill level that he has at his size. I mean, like I've been saying in past videos, if you're 6'9", 6'10", these are the next generational type of talents, type of athletes that's essentially going to be taking over the NBA. I mean, I feel like you can kind of already see it with guys like Luka Doncic, guys like Jason Tatum, guys like Jaylen Brown, the Giannis's. There's just so many 6'10" to 6'9" type players that can put the ball on the floor, and I definitely feel like Matas Buzelis is easily going to be that next player. I do remember on the JJ Redick podcast when he had a chance to actually be on there, he mentioned that he actually used to play swimming and that was his first sport before he was actually playing basketball. But even though he was probably one of the later bloomers to actually be in this class, you can definitely see the steadily improvement that he's been making year after year after year. There's absolutely no way that this kid goes less than top 3 to 5 in this draft. Now, I would definitely say that DJ Wagner is one of the more popular players in this draft. We all know his history. We all know his family ties. When it does come to the sport of basketball, he's definitely one of those players that I feel like has been highly scouted, highly touted ever since ESPN initially came out with the 2023 high school basketball rankings. And one thing that I do have to mention as it pertains to this man DJ Wagner, and just one thing that I feel like not a lot of people understand, is that this man DJ Wagner has always been somewhere in the top 5, really even top 3, as the best player in whatever class that he's in. He finished his high school class as the 4th overall player, but if you remember, he was always regarded as the #1 player. He's always been the most consistent player to be named within the top 3, and as you can see, bro, it's continuing even on the NBA level. So I personally have to give him his flowers, and I love the fact that a lot of NBA teams, they do see the talent level that this kid possesses, and there's just a lot of things that I know a lot of NBA teams are going to love, especially with his standalone shooting ability, especially from the 3-point line. Although he doesn't play above the rim whenever he attacks the basket, he's still one of those sneaky athletic players that loves to drive to the hole, and he's great at finishing with either hand or even on both sides of the rim. I'm pretty sure a lot of NBA teams are going to see how he's going to develop as a floor general, being the point guard for this Kentucky basketball team. I'm a DJ Wagner believer. Like I said, there's just too many things to love offensively, especially on the defense side of the ball. But yeah, like I said, DJ Wagner, he's definitely going to be one of them ones. Now, arguably the best transition player to come out of this draft class, you will see that Bleacher Report has Justin Edwards heading into Kentucky as the 4th rated prospect in this class. Now, he actually finished ahead of DJ Wagner as the 3rd ranked player according to ESPN on the high school level. And what I'm about to say is not in a demeaning way, but I actually look at Justin Edwards as a piece complementary type of player versus a franchise lead type of player. I think his physical tools and the talent alone will definitely serve him right heading into next season. And like I said, the transition game that this kid has, attacking the rim, is not scared to do the dirty work and grab boards. I think he averaged over 10 rebounds on the high school level. If he can improve on his shot making ability, especially at the 3-point line whenever he is open, I definitely think he could be a consensus top 3 pick in this draft. Marco Jackson is the 5th rated player according to Bleacher Report, and I would definitely say that he's easily the least popular players out of the bunch. But guys, please pull out your pen and paper, and I need you guys to understand the player that we're talking about. Bro, this kid literally finished as the 26th rated player according to ESPN on the high school level, and now he's projected to go somewhere in the top 5, somewhere in the top 10. Guys, that tells you alone, bro. This high school stuff, these high school rankings, literally do not matter at the end of the day. And this man is projected to be a top 5 player. And like I said, one of the least popular players in this draft. Do what you need to do in front of these NBA scouts. And I'm telling you, bro, these NBA teams will draft you. Now, Marco Jackson, he will be attending Kansas University next season, playing for Bill Self. And I know he will probably come off the bench just because they already have an established point guard being DeJuan Harris. And I definitely do think he's going to be doing what he needs to do to be a top 10 player in this draft. Now, a few other players that I definitely feel like are potentially going to be in the mix within that top 5. Guys, I can't keep going on to this video without mentioning this man, Isaiah COLLIER. Now, Isaiah COLLIER is going to be the USC starting point guard playing alongside Bronny James. And for those who have never seen this man play, I'm telling you right now, bro, please pull out your pen and paper. Please pull out your goggles. This man may even pass the ball to you through the TV screen because this man is easily the best pure point guard that will be coming out of this draft. If you want me to be 100,000% honest, I actually think he's the best player hands down in this draft. Just from top to bottom, I'm telling you, if this man can just improve on his shot making ability, especially at the 3-point line, bro, you're not going to find point guards at the 6'4" size that is as creative as he is, that's a pure point guard that can also attack the rim, that's great at scoring at all 3 levels. You're really not going to find that. And just being able to set up guys and teammates for success. Please, bro, if there's anybody on this list that you guys don't know, bro, please put this man Isaiah COLLIER in your notes. I also love players like Caleb Foster, who's one of the more underrated players that is going to be playing for Duke next season. I'm not sure exactly how many minutes he's going to be getting at Duke just because they already have 2 players coming back. I believe they have Jeremy Roach, and I can't think of the other player off the top of my head right now, but I'm not sure how many minutes Caleb Foster is going to be playing, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up as a top 10 pick, just like Bleacher Report as well. Same thing with Stephen Castle. He's going to be playing at UConn next season alongside Donovan Glingen, another 6'6", 6'7" type of point guard that honestly has the same level of creativity and point guard ability just like Isaiah COLLIER. Please don't be surprised if Stephen Castle has one of the biggest breakout seasons out of all these freshmen on this list. Now, I feel like we have to take 2 steps back and talk about the players that I know every single one of you guys clicked onto this video. I feel like we cannot continue this video on if we do not talk about this man, Bronny James. Now, as you can see, this man, Bronny James, is projected to go somewhere in that 35 to 40 range. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I actually do not anticipate Bronny James to stay anywhere along this in the second round, just because I'm actually looking at it from a real standpoint. I just don't think that there's going to be 30 teams, or you guys know what I mean. There's absolutely no way that all these teams just pass up on a guy like Bronny James, especially just what you're going to be getting with LeBron James. We're not talking about a talent perspective. I'm not saying that Bronny James is a top 10 talent level player. I'm just looking at it from a real standpoint with just the overall reality of what you're getting when you draft this man. And just considering the player that you're going to be getting, there's just no way that all these teams are going to pass on Bronny James. I know he didn't have the most decorated high school basketball career, but I think one thing that we definitely can all agree on is that he did steadily improve year after year after year. I know we want to see Bronny James be a little bit more aggressive, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but I definitely think that his floor is being a great defensive prospect like an Avery Bradley type of player who definitely had a lot of years in the NBA. So even taking off the name LeBron James, if you are going to be getting him if you draft Bronny, I do think the player Bronny James is going to have a great career in the NBA. He plays with high intensity. He has a high motor. He understands what having a role means in the NBA. And I think the fact that he showcased what he can do at the McDonald's All-American game and also in the Nike Hoop Summit, like I said, I do think that he's going to develop well and he's going to surprise a lot of people heading into next season. Robert Dillingham, Mikey Williams, and AJ Johnson, Jared McCain's, those are some other big names that I definitely feel like a lot of people are going to be wondering why they are so low, or even if they're going to be drafted. I mean, I don't see Mikey Williams or AJ Johnson anywhere on this list. I'll probably make a more in-depth separate video on Mikey Williams, but I'm actually surprised to not see either him or AJ Johnson just being 2 of the top shooting guards in their high school class. I believe they both finished as top 5, top 10 shooting guards in their class, and specifically Mikey Williams. There's just not many players that I would just take over Mikey Williams whenever it comes to shooting the basketball. Yes, I understand he doesn't play with the biggest energy, or he doesn't have the highest motor out there, but I do think whenever he is locked and loaded, I think the sky is the limit for him. I think he's the player that's going to determine whether he has a great college career or if he has a bad college career. I think it's really all going to fall on him, his attitude, how he approaches the game. Like I said, whenever he's locked and loaded, to me, Mikey's easily one of the best players in this class, and there's just no way that I'm going to be choosing 60 players over him. Same thing with AJ Johnson. I'm actually surprised that he's actually nowhere on this list, considering the size and the length and the potential that this kid has. He has a high ceiling, great at attacking the rim, slasher, an underrated point guard. Whenever I saw him at Donda Academy, I think he's actually going to be playing for the G League Ignite team next season. So please definitely put this kid in your notes. I also see Jared McCain is actually projected to go somewhere in the top 25. Me and my boy D-Rich TV, we actually made a video on Instagram speaking about if this man Jared McCain is going to be a one and done player. It looks like Bleacher Report, they actually agree. In my perspective, if Jared McCain can essentially be a great knockdown, consistent shooter, if he can showcase that he can somewhat play the point guard position, make open shots when needed, play defense, guard opposing teams' best players, then I do think that he could very well be a one-and-done player and could potentially be a top 30 pick in this draft. I'll most likely be making a separate video on Robert Dillingham about my concerns at Kentucky if he is still going to be a one-and-done player. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for that. But overall, guys, like I said, this 2024 class has a ton of talent. I know we only covered a few players in this draft. I'll probably make a part 2 to this video or another video as it pertains to this class somewhere down the line. So guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about this draft class overall, and I'll see you guys in the next one.